Annie noticed the monster on the news scratching its head. The posture was exactly the same as hers usually. She thought it was just a coincidence, but at night she saw the way the monster threw things. It was the same as when she threw her phone in the morning. She began to suspect there was a connection between herself and the monster. Annie watched all the videos about the monster. She found that every time the monster appeared in Seoul, she was in the park, and the monster's movements were exactly the same as hers. To verify her guess, she brought her friends to the park and asked them to turn on the live news from Seoul. When they saw the monster on the screen, dancing the same dance as Annie, all three of them were stunned. At that moment, the South Korean military launched missiles at the monster. Annie felt the pain too. She waved her fists angrily at the air and accidentally hit a helicopter. When she realized she had killed the pilot, Annie tried to leave the area, but accidentally slipped and fell to the ground. However, this caused several buildings in Seoul to turn into ruins. Hundreds of people lost their lives because of this. To express her apology, Annie entered that area again. She wrote "I'm sorry" on the ground in Korean. After the scene was reported on the news, people began to change their views. They thought the monster meant no harm. From that day on, Annie never entered the park again. She thought everything was over. However, that morning, Annie found a giant robot appearing in Seoul. She quickly went to the park and discovered that the robot was actually her friend Mike. She advised Mike to leave the area quickly, but he refused. Annie slapped him in anger. In the eyes of the viewers in Seoul, the monster was protecting humans. From then on, the monster became a symbol of justice. But Mike thought Annie had made him lose face. To regain his lost dignity, Mike called Annie the next day, planning to have a duel with her. Annie attacked first, but there was a huge gap in their strength. Annie was soon knocked to the ground. She watched helplessly as he wreaked havoc around. To stop Mike's crazy behavior, Annie came up with a bold plan. She quickly booked a flight to Seoul. When Mike was about to trample Seoul again, the ground behind him began to shake. Then the monster appeared in front of him, just as Mike was about to run away. Annie grabbed him directly with her hand and threw him into the sky.